You can see conversion group settings. You have to link reading group to conversion group. So how system is doing is, we have a parameters. The parameters values system will be expecting if you are doing any stock transfer or goods issue or goods receipt. Conversion group to reading group. This is oil industry master data. You can see based in term measure. Earlier you have seen only these three. Apart from that, we can maintain the factors like this: density factor, aerobio factor, excise duty group. Again, like to pay the excise duty, we can group the different kind of excise duty for purposes like normally any country, if you take based on the excise duties, they will group they will name it. Nothing strange in that. They will name something for excise duties. For example, lubes will have one excise duty group, and fuels will have one excise duty group. Bitumen will have one excise duty group. LPG will have one excise duty group. LNG will have one excise duty group. So, based on your products and features, based on your excise duty regulations, because they will tell, okay, this is the same fuel. If conditions are changing like this, you have to pay excise duty in different way. For that, we have to name it one excise duty group. So, this is nothing but a naming. You can see it is normally the integration with loading, during loading confirmation and delivery confirmation, we have to perform it. In ticketing, in TSW, we'll call it ticketing, means goods movements. So this is where we have to go and check now. I will come back to this one. Let me show the system. I will tell you why it is not important to us. Normally, SAP is not providing the solution for QCI. Means to have these formulas and these things, SAP is not completely providing the solution. It is suggesting to get the support from third-party vendors. Normally, we have a company called QuantityWare or API. From US, we have API, and in Germany, there is a QuantityWare company. Company name is QuantityWare. So they are the best providers for this solution, quantity conversion interface solution for SAP. So normally what companies are doing is, they will define conversion group, unit groups, all this stuff themselves in the system. But these formulas, whatever I said, conversion group formulas and reading groups and parameters, all will be given by the third party vendor. So straight away we import that particular whatever they'll give the coding or something, will go import to our system, so that these companies will be paying to QuantityWare at an amount based on their agreement. So normally in SAP we don't have such routines to have the complete formula for complete conversion. SAP is telling that they don't have solution, and they will tell go to either QuantityWare or API or whatever vendors are available. I know QuantityWare and API is the main thing, main companies which are providing QCI. So normally if you are working in any company, if you go to any company today, nobody will ask you to work on QCI. Probably you have to make sure the configuration like unit measure groups, conversion groups, and reading groups, all this stuff. But the programs, whatever programs are there, that will be given by the third party. You can just go to their website, QuantityWare. You can search in Google quantity, normal QuantityWare, quantityware.com. When I worked in Bangkok, they asked me to work for LNG. What I did was, the first step I did was, I found out from Google what is ISO for LNG. So I got ISO and I read the ISO document for LNG. There are ISO has defined some parameters, and they define the values also for that, and they gave at least few base unit of measures, what unit of measures should have for LNG. So this is what we will submit to our beginners, telling that okay, this is ISO and these are the parameters. They knows already But from our side, we will tell that we can make unit of measure group starting with some Z, L, and G. Okay, we'll put a rough document, but end of the program will be taken care by the third party only. They already having a quantiware support, so they took the solution from quantiware, they implemented it. I will show you what I want to by the routine. Use the 27 here. Okay, we have to go to, first thing is I will show you O3 defaults. This transaction is there in the slide. Spelling wrong. If I put one material, for example, okay, you can see here, these are calling as a, I am taking one material an example under this plant. Okay, under this plant, this material has a parameter. This parameter is nothing but a, what all at least you should have. You should have a material temperature. You should have a temperature, test temperature. You should have a relative test density, air indicator, aerobias indicator, factors, and meter correction factor. So these parameters are normally given by ISO, or client will tell you that what parameters they wanted to have. So these parameters are assigned to reading group. Remember it. Reading group, that is there already mentioned in the slide. Next is, we have parameters. The expected values are, okay, for this test temperature, what is the unit of measure? FAH, for example. So these also will be given by ISO, and we will put some values here. These are the kind of standard values. You can see this is actually light product. I can take another oil product. It will be L15 values. Take approximate material, but okay. So I maintain parameters only these 4 or 5. You can see the unit of measures are Celsius or whatever I want to maintain here, I can maintain it. This is actually desktop. This will be calling as a desktop calculator. But normally we'll have a automatic conversion in the background. I will show you how it works, how this calculation is normal. Suppose now it is test temperature 22 degrees, but what happens if they are doing the loading confirmation, they will put that, they will, because it cannot be every time 22 degrees only, or it cannot be same density. So they will change the densities there. System will calculate automatically. That is called we required routines. If they change, as soon as they are changing any one of these values, it has to calculate the what is the value for that. It should have some formula. We should have some calculator in the background. For that we should have routines. I will show you. Routines, what routines does is they will calculate the value and they will give you based on some formulas. STRO, oil industry, HPM, petroleum standards, quantity conversion configuration. This is shown in the slide. Okay. First is define QCI parameters. See, parameters are maintained here. So, almost all are available. You have to make sure that parameters are available or not. And you have to activate the QCI table. This is already activated. Normally, it will be activated as soon as you take the license. Routines and natural gas, it is also like just like activation only. It will be activated normally. Reading group, define reading group. Reading group, I said, we'll define the reading group for each one of your material. And if you go inside reading group and entries, you will see the parameters assigned for that. LNG, for example, they require at least one of all these parameters with these values, ISO values. So we'll define the reading group. Define means normally as what SAP does is we'll copy it. For example,
Raj, Veng, I have a question. Those values, are they given to you when you're configuring, or how do you get those values?
which one? These values?
The values, I think like two slides before, you had some values that you had up. I was asking where, when you are configuring a system, should it be that you work in a company that you have to configure? Do they give you the blueprint? Does the blueprint show the values that you have to configure?
Yeah. We have to configure unit of measures and we have to configure the conversion groups.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure the what are the reading groups we require. Reading groups is having the parameters.
Okay.
So we have to customize all these, but conversion group will have a routine. That routines will not be made by us normally.
Okay.
We can write our own formula. We can take risk definitely, but normally because that will not be supported by SAP. Suppose if some problem in the conversion, SAP will not support for that. SAP itself is not giving the QCS solution. They are telling go and get from the vendor. From our side, we will do this customization. As I said, like now we have to define the reading definitely. We will see what are the options we have normally here with different kind of options. For example, I want to create for LNG. What I did is I copied from the standard one, add LNG, and I will go to entries. Here I have to maintain the parameters. What parameters I wanted to have.
Okay. So on this particular, don't move the slide, please. On this particular slide, these parameters which are not given, in the blueprint, when you're defining the blueprint here, are these parameters given in the blueprint, or you copy them from a different system?
No. Actually, we'll copy. Actually, as I said, normally we'll have here. Almost we'll have here. All parameters are available here in the previous step.
Okay.
So if you require any new parameters, that is simple. We are nothing to. We can create that is simple task only.
Okay.
If you go to, yeah, it is simple task. We can create the parameters and we can make sure that is assigned to reading group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally, normally business will be knowing what parameters they need. If they have one product in the either oil product or gas product, they will know that what parameters they need required. We will make sure that those parameters already available in the like field catalog. In short, we'll make sure that the parameters are available in the parameters definition. And next step we will go to the reading group. In the reading group, we'll assign the parameters to the reading group. That reading group will be assigned to conversion group later. See here, we go to define conversion group. See, for example, this is just like naming only, or nothing to bother about what is this and something, just like naming. And you can see, if I take, for example, if I take the first one, let me drag it. See, I have a conversion group. Conversion group will be assigned to the material master data. That conversion group will have a reading group, link reading group to conversion group. Here, reading group is maintained here. Okay, this reading group will have a parameter. So what happens, as soon as this material is having a conversion group of 234A, the 234A will have a parameter. Those parameters should be displayed in your goods movement. Okay, that conversion between those parameters or between those unit of measures will be done by based on some routines. Here next step is external calls. You go to external calls. See here, this is what I am telling now. FM name. FM means functional model. So this functional model is given by standard SAP, and here see functional model type. I will show you. FM type. Go here and see. 3. Call system. Call external program at OS level. External program that is not given by SAP. If you want to develop your own program, you can do by taking the 5. Okay, but SAP will not support you if you have any problem on this. Normally it will be 3. If you see anything, it will be 3. What SAP is telling that this is a routine and this is a functional model. What functional model in SAP? It will call some programs, routines, and it will give the value of that. So SAP is not giving this particular program. So as soon as you have any conversion group, that conversion group will have a functional model that will be given by the third party, supplied by third party. And additional thing is SN QCI unit of measure TO. This is a table. And let me come back. Not activated. So this is important for both purposes. One is reading group and second is conversion group, and linking them with reading group is nothing but a combination of parameters which is given by ISO or by business. We will make sure that all the parameters are within the reading group. That reading group will assign to the conversion group. That conversion group will be assigned to the functional model to read the formula or to do the background calculation. Some SAP routines are there already, but majority of the major companies are buying from the third party. Yeah, this conversion mode. Earlier I shown this in slide. Suppose if you want to have either automatic or semi-automatic, so here you have to make sure how do you want for each material and store location level. How do you want to have your QCI? I don't know what is this. Nothing is there. I don't know whether it is in use or not somewhere. And QCI handling, message handling is not done by us. It is what message you want to have, either pop-up or warning. You can configure by some technical team help. You can see there are different messages. As I said here, warning. E means error. So if you are doing something wrong in the program, in the functional module, they will tell that if these are the parameters are mandatory. If this parameter is missing, give this value, this message. So this will be taken care by the third party only, so nothing to worry about this. I would suggest to know at least about what is the QCA and what is the reading group, what is the unit of measure group, what is the conversion group, and what is the parameter in the reading group. So this is what we should know from the QCA. Other are nothing. You can just use the desktop calculator. Already I've shown this to you. O3 defaults transaction here. You can see here O3 QCA test or O3 default. Anything is okay. So this is about QCI, and now we have a table here. You have to set up whether QCI is allowed or not here. This is just like setting things up. Define what all the unit measures you are going to use in your QCI. You have to make sure that all are assigned here. This is table T006, I think. Just a minute. Let me. OIB06. So, for example, you decided that okay, these are the parameters I need, and these are the unit measures I need for all my materials. So those unit measures should be assigned in this particular table. Okay. So this is why QCI works. I will repeat once again. We will have a material. That material will have a unit measure group. First thing. No, not like that. I will come back. To have your material master data for oil specific, you should select the material type is trading good, and industry sector is oil industry. Next step is it will have a oil specific data. Under oil specific data, normally we'll have a basic unit of measure. Then after basic unit of measure, if you require dynamic conversion, which is nothing but which happens in oil industry, make sure that material will have a conversion group. Should be assigned to one conversion group. For conversion group in the background is controlled by reading group. Reading group will have a parameter. Means what all parameters this material should have is assigned to the reading group. That reading group will be assigned to conversion group. So here your material will be knowing that if I have this conversion group, these are the parameters I should have. Then unit of measure group, another thing. Here what kind of unit of measure this material should have will be assigned to one unit of measure group. That unit of measure group will be assigned to material master data. So these three things are working together. You read it once again, but as I said, now our part is like defining the unit of measure group, defining the reading groups by copying them, the existing one, and make sure the parameters assignments properly. The values normally we can't give values because business will be giving all these parameters, values, and these things, and unit of measures whatever they wanted. Make sure how many unit of measure groups they wanted. So this customization will do, but this functional modules whatever I said will be taken care by the third party supplier. I will share this PPT to you after this. It is having end-to-end document. So understand the terminology, understand the importance of this. It is easy to remember. It is nothing much difficult. By reading it, you will come to know what things. Yeah, silo management is another part of HPM, hydrocarbon product management. Silo is nothing but you can call it a tank management. The concept of why do you need a tank management? Normally, I never seen the requirements are coming because I'm working for HM team only, hydrocarbon management team only. I never seen any requirements on this tank management. This is in short. This is nothing just like you will have in your refinery will have tanks. How would you like to behave? What are the behaviors you would like to keep for your tank in terms of stock keeping or in terms of characteristics? How do you want to measure there? What is the value inside of the tank? Something. So there are some kind of characteristics, and they want to track the tank different kind of parameters under this different kind of temperatures, densities, and how the volumes are changing, and so that they can update their inventories and their defense, how the defenses are. They can notify between different kind of conditions. Yeah, normally tank characteristics, because every tank will have some kind of characteristics in the background. So to have that, and material master the material tank in the material, how the particular material, how it is going to work on this particular tank. Calibration history means we can trap what is the different kind of changes, what are the changes in the different kind of steps. Strapping is a process. I will show you in here. Formula to calculate linear to volume conversion. Tank dips, physical and book inventory. Book inventory means we will do, physical means whatever exactly is there, and gain and loss. Or you it allows this particular topic below tank management allows a company to record physical material stocks in tanks, either hourly, daily, weekly. This is more of end user work. What they do is normally they do either they said hourly, daily, or weekly. They go to the tanks and they will see what are the volumes are changing and what is the value of the what is the inventory at that particular moment, and what is how it is going, either selling or receiving the goods. So they will have the history of that particular tank because they want to know how the tank is doing. Simple. Physical tank readings at the time of book inventories. So this is a tank characteristics. You can see. Uh, yeah, the terminals are here already. We have image, ullage, D2, tank table, and footing roof K factor calculation. So by seeing this, you can just go through roughly. Because this is one time you can understand by reading it. It is not having any complex or strange thing. It's just like a idea about how a tank looks in oil industry and what are the characteristics normally SAP is supporting or SAP is having. So all this, whatever terminology you are seeing, tap, insulation, laser outage, image. So these all are explained here. If you can start, you can go and read it on later. And this is the from customization. I will show you now. What happens? You have a tank. Okay, you should have a master record, and because from the end user side, what they do, they want they in one. Just assume I am the scheduler in my plant. I have 4 tanks. So I want to update the records for particular tank one. So I will go to the SAP system for the particular transaction. I'm creating a tank characteristic. So I should give some object class, storage object class of the silage management. So from our side, we have to define the storage object classes. Normally, if you take any oil company, they will be having different kind of tanks. They will tell, okay, I have 4 kind of tanks normally across world. That 4 kind of tanks, how we are calling in SAP is storage object class, SOC class. You can see we have to define the storage object classes. Here we'll give description simple, and here linear and volume conversions, like what is you can see or how it works. Simple description, you can see the options. In the front end, if I'm getting a location one, not even tank one, I have to set the location type. I will maintain the stock like this. What is the maximum capacity? And this is a storage of each storage object class will have a control. Tank properties. What is V by SP? V by SP. You can just, this is like a formula, so I can't read it now. It is just like you can read it on your own. It is nothing much. It is having a formula. We have to make sure with your business when you are defining a storage object class, we will make sure that what options they wanted to have. That's all. Suppose they want to use this formula, normally that will be, they will be knowing whether that is required or not. So we flag it and we'll give to them. Yeah, this also object type. It is not much useful because from the configuration side we will not have anything, but the terminology we should know. Again, it is in terms of the group and conversion group. The same process it will work for any material. Even though we have tank, end of the day we are putting some material into that. How system is doing in the different kind of conversion is again the concept remains same. Base unit measure group and conversion group. This is from the inventory management point of view. We have one tank here, one tank empty. Just assume like that. So why we are having this particularly this tank management is, for example, I have a diesel. When I'm putting in tank A, it is unpaid tax. Okay. For example, if I'm putting another material, I can put one tank B as a tax. Untaxed material I can put in another tank. So normally, according to your inventory, if you want differentiate your inventory for the same material also, either tax or untaxed, the time you can put in two tanks. Similarly, consigned stock you can put in a different. So each tank will have their own characteristics. Yeah, I can put like this. Yeah, in vice versa. They are telling vice versa. We have storage location tank A and tank B. It is a taxed amount of this one, untaxed amount of this one. So we can see own stock is this much, concerned is this much, this is total. By reading this, they will be understanding, business will be understanding what is the tax amount they have, what is untaxed amount they have. Yeah, this is a master data. Here I will put I have a location, for example, London location. I have a plan there. I have this many tanks and this many materials and these are the magazine capacity. Yeah, these topics just try to understand what is about this, but logically is not much required for us. I mean, from the job perspective, but you should know at least the what happens about your tank. You should know. Yeah, deep reading means deep reading nothing but we'll have a stick. Normally this is like iron rod. They'll dip in that. They will see the different volumes like this, and they will enter the that reading values by taking these parameters like plant store location, tank, and time, height and weight. So test temperature, test density. For example, I am dipping at morning 15 degrees temperature. I can have at 10 degrees. This is the value. Okay. If I do it, for example, in the afternoon, temperature is increasing. If I do dipping again, I can't expect the same value. It may increase or decrease. That's what they are doing. How a tank is doing at different kind of conditions.
Are those values entered once you collect the values? Do you take the values and put them into the system?
Yes, they will put in a system so that they can understand. Okay, this is an average of my tank behavior or something. They will be knowing that
Okay.
different kind of strapping and dip readings because they want to know how the tank is doing inside because this is a natural product. Nobody knows until unless do something. Whatever they are doing like dip reading, they will put one iron rod and they will see at morning, evening, afternoon between different temperatures the volumes. We don't remove any product from that tank. You will have different volumes. They will enter in the system. They will keep the record for them, and they will understand. Okay, this is what this material is doing in the tank, and this tank is having the characteristic like this. In the earlier slide, this is important. Sorry. The problem is I don't have editor in my system, so I have to go to page referee. Yeah, this is what you should know, how the floating roof. And here you see, under we'll have a water, we'll have minimum level of water, and we'll have core product, innet, and we'll have the outage. Whatever you are doing is from this particular place only. So if I am doing the deep, for example, this will have tap also. Do the deep, and we'll have measurements here. For example, water volume is increasing. They will come to know, okay, at morning water volume is this much, but it is going down now. So water dip height they have to see, and unpumpable quantity they want to see, and product dip height they want to see how much product is there in the tank, and they want to see the volume outage. So there are different kind of parameters they consider. From our side, we make sure the storage object classes are defined with the correct customization. When they are creating any location, any plant, they will take the storage object class because we already configured them in the background. This is a one-time configuration only. So they'll keep the record for their purpose. Means inventory purpose. Inventory purpose main thing is inventory. You can see create the tank dips. So this is end user work. So nothing to bother about that. So this is a physical inventory and this is a book inventory. From R3 we are booking like this. How they are understanding, okay, I have this much stock. That is not my book inventory in R3. Physically they have whatever they have. So they will see, they will change the, they will update the inventory, book inventory in our SAP system by seeing the physical inventory. Without seeing that, they can't do that. So here we can see this is the configuration, silo management, the storage of this class. This I will come back to system now. Again, go to HPM, silo management, master data. So we have storage object class. Go to storage object class. These are the normal storage objects and have just define them. Additional settings for storage objects. So this is more specific to decision making. Just read what is about this one. These are some formula. So we'll make sure that whether storage object class is required, these settings are not. Yeah, plant level. What kind of what are the plants are lent for this one? Reading analysis. In the front end, I will show you. This is already covered object types and these things. I will show you in the front end. SP easy access. This is end user talks. I never did this normal. Return by sales and distribution. No. Silo management, management. Not sure. Yes, yeah. Under inventory management. This is more specific to inventory. Silo management inventory. You have to suppose you want to write the tank dips. They will go to transaction display tank dips. For example, they will take one plant. Let us take some plant. See here. Under this plant, this material. Let us take one. See, for example, gasoline. They have stock level is dip time at morning. Dip height is this much. Okay, volume is this much. So they will have the idea about this particular plant. I take GB01 for example, one plant. For this under plant, they have different kind of stock differences they can track here. Just whenever you're free, just you can go to the screen and see what are the options we have. So by taking the storage object class, all this will be calculated. This is for mainly for inventory purpose. Once I share the screen to you, you can have a look into that once again, but try to understand the material master data for oil specific. What are the new fields are there, conversion group and these things. That is very important. Okay. But configuration side, you have nothing to bother about that because we'll customize the few things only already that is there in the side. Whatever customization is required from our side, just we'll do that. But QCI normally once we have unit of measure groups these things until unless that is a brand new implementation, we don't touch this area. Because suppose there are rollouts normally currently in industry majority of SAP projects are rollout projects. So they have already all these intermediate groups or even we have upgrades, not brand new SAP implementation, we have upgrades. Even though that is upgrade in old version they have all these intermediate groups